Well, good morning, guys. Sorry for the short delay. Little technical difficulties on the sick person over here behind the controls. But we are here for a Saturday Gulfstream breakdown of late pick five on the Let It Run podcast on the Florida Sports Network. And really special guest, a good friend of mine for over the years. Great handicapper, great friend, lives in the Tampa Bay area. Let him talk about himself and Wady Kala from Tampa.
John, thank you. Thank you for having me on your podcast. It's a pleasure. Basically, been doing the horse thing forever. 48, almost 48. Been going to racetracks since I was 5 with my dad. He used to drag me along. Been betting the horses a lot throughout my life. Over the last, 6, 7, 8 years, I graduated to doing a lot of horizontal bets, pick fives, pick sixes, pick fours. Used to be a win place better, exactas, but still do that. But love the handicapping, love the contests, love doing it all.
What got you started back in the day? How early did you get started, and what is your either your downfall or your saving thankful graces that you are involved?
I wouldn't say too. I mean, downfalls. You're gambling. You're doing that for daily basis. There's the stress of that. But it's been had its ups, had its downs. Seen some good things, some bad things. But I started when I was young. I grew up in the Maryland area. We used to go to Laurel in the mornings, daytime, and at night go right to Charlestown or Pimlico to Charlestown, Bowie to Charlestown, even sometimes hit up Rosecroft. But yeah, I was going to the racetrack since I was a kid. Fell in love with it as a young kid. I actually own horses, been owning horses with my father for the last 20 years on and off. The last 6, 7 years been going pretty strong. Like that aspect of it. Not anything big, just have fun with it. Claimers here and there, couple 2-year-olds, but nothing get big, nothing crazy, but it's fun. Keeps me going. My dad enjoys it. I enjoy it. Every day
Yeah,
part of my life.
it's a good way to stay in touch. Really close with your dad. And we had a great time in Saratoga this summer. The
Yeah,
three of us up there. What a blast it was having him with us all the time, and you
that was
know,
good.
joking around all the time, and trying to pick winners, picking a lot of losers, but just a fun time to be around that in Saratoga. And Saratoga, for those of you who have never been there, that's got to be a bucket list item. If you're a racetrack goer and never been to Saratoga, you're missing the boat. You haven't been to the Mecca. So whatever everybody else says,
Definitely.
Saratoga is the place to go in the summer.
You have to go check it out. I didn't make my first Saratoga trip till about 6, 7 years ago, and I try to go every year since then.
Yeah,
Something I enjoy
tough to
doing.
miss now.
Yeah.
Once you know what's up there, it's almost tough to miss.
Yes. Yes, I
Before we get
agree.
started, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors who've been with us since the beginning. Cases Pork Roll, the Dolan family. Thank you for their support from the very beginning, and Alicia at the Vape Shop for all your vape needs on Route 33 in Hamilton. And then the big news we announced yesterday in the banner you can see across the top, partnership with Brisnet, which is really a great accomplishment for this podcast to get to the next level and have the support of Brisnet providing opening up their vault of products for us to take advantage of. And we will be having some Brisnet plays of the day. We'll be doing more of these short podcasts with the play of the day or a short interview here or there. We won't limit this to just the Friday happy hour and the Saturday stakes breakdown. So we will be moving into more of a horse fan friendly, not just handicapper kind of show. So Brisnet will be a big part of that. And actually, Fred, who is in continuing education credits, he is on the mend. He is getting better, stronger every day. He was on last week with us. You heard his voice is still nowhere near normal, but with physical therapy and his road back, it'll be a long road, but he'll be back to it soon. His mind is still there, and he did send out the first Brisnet spot play of the day, and it happened to be Nequios in the feature race, the 10th race today. And the funniest thing, when he sent it to me that is the play of the day, I almost lost it because my whole day structured around beating that horse who was going to be 3 to 5, and I was signaling in that race against that horse to create value in the sequence. When he scratches, there's the Brisnet pick of the day because it was so far ahead on prime power, and Fred gave all the stats I was going to read, but it's worthless now because he's gone. So then it made my ticket not change, but I lose all the value in the ticket because now my single is going to be that big favorite, which I was trying to beat that big favorite.
It's my
And the funny
single as
thing is
well.
when Wadey sends me his ticket today, after I typed mine in, I'm looking, I'm typing, and I'm typing right next to each other. And I'm like, am I typing it? It was almost the same ticket. So our handicapping theory and method of ticket structure is identical, this sequence. So I put Fred's up there as well. We'll take a look at his as we go along the way, but we're going to break down each race by race, not going through each horse like we did yesterday. If you wanted to check out the Fairgrounds ninth race, the $100,000 stake race today at Fairgrounds, 6 furlongs for Louisiana breds. We didn't find much value, myself and John O'Hara, special guest we had yesterday, thanks to him and the Four Leaf Clover Racing Stable that he has up here in the Parks area. Great interview with John, just talking horses and, had a great chat. But we did come up with yesterday pretty much the favorites, the 6 and the 5. We were trying to split a couple horses between them for the trifecta maybe. So maybe something like the 9th race at Fairgrounds. We talked about the 6 with the 1, 4, 7 with the 5. It's probably going to be 4, 5 with a $4 exacta, but we're trying to split them and beat it. So I'm going to catch my breath here because I've been sick and bed for the last 5 days. I'm going to let Wadey start talking the first few seconds here, a few minutes on the 7th race at Gulfstream. We start our pick 5 sequence with the 7th at Gulfstream. Our favorite way to start it, a synthetic race during the championship meet at the wonderful, wonderful Gulfstream.
Yeah, not as wonderful as it used to be, right?
Not even close.
Synthetics playing a big role. It's taking a lot of the turf races away. Turf, I mean, it just hasn't been what it used to be. It used to be, all the big trainers there, big owners, everything, big riders. It just lost a little bit of its luster. Not sure why, but I mean, I'm sure why, but I know
Yeah,
exactly
four
why. But
years ago, I remember, it's snowing up here in the Northeast, and I'd drive over to Parks, and we'd get a table and sit there and, love betting winter racing at Gulfstream, and nothing was better, than, Gulfstream championship meet. Now it's not even on the radar to really watch. And if they carted the synthetic races a little bit better for the fan and used it more as off the turf kind of days, instead of jamming it down your throat in every possible betting sequence you have 3, 4, 5 synthetic compared to 2 turf races.
they can't seem to keep the turf like in good shape though. They're just constantly running. It's year round. That track's open year round, so it doesn't get a
That's a
little
mistake.
break. You
Yeah.
know, that's the problem with having turf year round. Not many other racetracks have turf year round. Gulfstream's one of the very few that just runs year round, and
Let's
that
let's put a play
always,
in for Hialeah,
yeah.
get that back into play here.
I mean, they're trying. They said there was some talk. I mean, it's a great track. It's great, but I don't know. That'd be tough. All right, first race, 5.5 furlong synthetic, open 25. Um, Pretty chalky, but the horse that was kind of interesting, I was mentioning to John earlier that the three, these most of these horses are non-winners of 3 life. The 3 fits into a special kind of condition in this race where it gives you non-winners of a race in 6 months. Uh, so he fits that. He fits that. So you can toss him in. He's got 5 wins. The rest of the horses haven't even had their 3rd win. Just depends. Second race off a layoff. Could be good, could be bad. His last 2 races were pretty bad, but I'm pretty chalky here. I'm 2, and I'm going with the 3. I mean, the 4 looks all right. I know he put the 5 in to make the race go. That the owner trainer saying they scratched the 5. But this horse has been laid off since July, and I don't know what kind of race he's going to run off a layoff. Last race was so, but his buyers are good enough. I don't
Uh,
see much else. The 7 maybe, but last 2 races weren't too good. A lot of Woodbine shippers, so it all depends on how these horses run when they come to Gulfstream. What do you think, John?
yeah, I got the same exact thought there. I was maybe leaning on the 4, and I like after hearing you mention that they entered the 5 in order to get the race to go. So the trainer really needed the race to go for this 4. The horse must be ready. Looking at 2 bullet workouts, the long layoff does matter a little bit. He's never really shown that he can really win off the layoff. So now he's in for that non-winners at 3 lifetime. And I love the fact that, you said the 3 open condition. has 5 wins, 3 more than the whole field. Nobody's has, that third win yet. So they're all eligible non-winners of 3. Where if that 3 horse ran and non-winners of 3, he'd be, even money odds on. This is an open, but he fits that condition because of that reason. Surfs up 8-5 morning line. I don't like that at all. I think he's better going 5.5, not 5 furlongs. But he is a speed at a speed. Carlos David, great trainer. First off the claim, tough to leave out. And if I didn't have those stats in my corner, I'd probably try to beat it. But to get defensive and not get knocked out, I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. And the one that I really wanted to use for, budget purposes, I would add. I'm probably going to add on my ticket 20-1 if that was correct. Was that the morning line 20-1 on that 7?
No. That
Oh,
was on the 6 is 20-1. The 7
oh,
6-1 morning line.
I
Cassie's
see. Right.
horse.
I got to scribble next to it because okay, so that's more like it. So yeah, he should be 6-1, and at that price, Mark Cassie, pretty much dropping out of all those optionals. Ran nice synthetic race, at Woodbine, that 6.5 race that would win this here. So another one I would add, but for budget purposes, I narrowed it down to the 2, 3, 4. We're gonna move
Yeah,
over
once
to
again,
good.
piggyback off you on John on the 3, and Marty Drexler went back and claimed the horse. He had the horse and then went back and claimed the horse. 32,000. So he's basically claiming him and putting him in for 25 at a loss.
Oh,
If
I see the claim
he
back.
has,
Yeah, I always
yeah,
like that. Yeah, I always look for that when I see all those different claim lines on the past performance sheet. I see if there's the claim back. If the barn really likes it, and they must really like this, and knowing that, what's the purse of this race? 36,000. So what they claim it for? 32.
32. Yeah. So yeah,
So
saying
if they
he could
get
take
the
a
winning
loss.
purse here,
Yeah.
that's 20 grand, and then they get claimed 40. They could 45. They could walk out with 10,000 over a month. So
Yeah.
they're in a spot to win. That makes that 3. I'm glad I included that one mainly on my ticket here rather than trying to avoid it.
Right.
8th
All
race
right.
here. I'll start this one, and then let's see. 8th race, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds, wide open, great. This is actually a good maiden special weight in the championship meet. This is the kind of race that you expect. Full field, a lot of big outfits, a lot of big trainers, big horses. Every single one of them is stretching out for the first time. Nobody has been 2 turns, and everybody's first time Lasix. Nobody's had Lasix before.
All
So
right.
you got
Everybody first time
everybody
6 of the
getting
3.
the same treatment, both. So who's going to step up? And when I narrowed it down to about 4 or 5 key horses, then I look at somebody, I'm like, I'm not going to leave Dale Romans out second time start when he's, 32%. Then I look at somebody else, I'm not going to leave him. So for ticket purposes, I had the luxury to hit the all button and hope for a little chaos, hope for one of these 2-year-olds turning 3 to turn the corner and maybe step up and do something special and be like, wow, where'd that come from? But they grow up overnight. I see with my filly, every time I go to the barn, bigger and stronger and bigger. So these blossom in a month. They could change drastically. But I was originally keyed on the 1-horse Ram J. He got beat by Jackson Hole, who was a $1.2 million purchase. That was the highfalutin, closed down the middle of the lane and just nabbed this horse at the end. So Rama J held his own against that $1 million horse. Credited well. The 3 I would normally leave out with Mott first time starters, which is 1 for 91, and going over a mile 0 for 39. Not my kind of horse, but gun runner working out way better than any first time starter for Bill Mott would. So another one I would lean on. Sartorial has the racing experience. Ran with 2 good horses, Chip Honcho and Credible, 2 that went on to win more races. And the 9 I would throw in there as somebody from the outside post, moving to the outside, can float, get a good trip from out there. Was a $160,000 purchase. So they would be the 4 I would lean on, but I'm going to hit the all button here. The 1, 3, 5, and 9 are my key principles.
Well, I was with you on that too. My theory is, if you're picking half of them or 5 or 6 out of 10, you don't have an opinion. You got to go all. But just like you said, from 2 to 3 is their biggest improvement. Also, you have so many unknown variables in this race. They're all getting Lasix for the first time. Almost all of them are stretching out for the first time. From 2 to 3 is the biggest improvement of any horse. You don't know. You can have a horse, run daylights at 2, turn to 3, and goes completely backwards, or vice versa. That's when they biggest jump in horsing. If you're looking, this is what I always do. I'm a big proponent of this. If you're looking to minimize and not go all in this race, what you do is in the first leg of the pick five, you look in the doubles and see who they're betting. They're going to tell you. You look at the favorite in the seventh race and the will pays of the double. That'll kind of give you a little bit of guidance as to who they like, who they're playing. What the word is out on, what horses are good, which ones are bad. But like John said, you go to try and eliminate a horse, and then you're like, okay, I want to get rid of this horse, but he's getting blinkers on for the first time. He's getting Lasix, and he ran a Churchill, so maybe he didn't like Churchill and he likes Gulfstream. So there was way too many variables here. I did like the one also. That was my initial first. Like if I had to pick a horse single, it would be the one. But I don't love that whole. It's going a mile and 16. It's not as bad. Get Tyler on there. I guess Zayas is in Tampa today for those two races. But yeah, it's a wide open race. You don't know who's going to become who. So I mean, I'm with you. I went all on my ticket, but that's because I singled down the road and I can afford to do that on my ticket because I had a couple races where I went thin. So if you want to go all, take a chance. But if you want to cut some out, you can always use, like I say, the double probables to see what they're playing and so on and make a judgment. But you just never know who's going to step up and who's not in these type of races.
You're speaking about jockey about Zaya is going to Tampa. Jaramillo, is he out in California now riding?
Yeah.
He had 3 winners yesterday, I heard.
Did
he ride for Doug O'Neill 3 times and win all
Doug
3?
O'Neill got hot. Yes, sir.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's out there riding. I mean, he fits that track. He fits it out there. He's a speed rider.
Yeah.
They don't have too many big time riders, and he's not going to succeed down at Gulfstream Championship meet. There's too many good jockeys down there.
So you think down there at this is the time to make the move out in California, and he could be a solid journeyman out there.
It might as well
take a shot there. Yeah, he's not going to compete with this cast right now.
I mean, Gulfstream in the summer when all the other jockeys at Saratoga, he does all right in the summer. All right, so I mean, nothing really serious there. We both were undecisive. I mean, the board will show it. I mean, there might be somebody 5-2, but I don't see anything going off odds on or anything in this race. Not from what I see, but I could be wrong. I mean, the inside talk. Someone might know something, seen a workout, something we don't know. I don't know, but we'll see it.
Then if you see that on the double probables, if you do look at that, and that's a great point Wadey brought up. If you watch that, that's how I play those races. I always look before I put my ticket in to see who the favorite is getting bet into the next race. And then those top 4 will be the top 4 bettors. Then you can see if any obscure horse was getting more money than you would expect. So that would be like a flyer that you would throw in, like somebody like that. But if you see somebody getting hammered in the doubles, like that first time starter by Mott, then he might be the goods. And you could maybe take more of a stand with him and sprinkle in a couple, other ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Start us out, race 9.
All right, race 9. This one was a tough race for me too. I went 4 deep here. There's too many unknowns about horses. There's a lot of horses with time off. A lot of horses coming in from other tracks, making their first run. I was right in the middle. I think I was 5, 6, 7, 8 with the horses I liked. This is another race. You got all kinds of races in this pick 5. You got a allowance optional 25,000, maiden special, and then 2 stakers. This is a decent race. 5 furlongs on the turf. I mean, I couldn't get to the 1. I don't like it. I don't like it from that hole. The 2, I didn't like it either. Nothing that shows me like this horse. I mean, if you go 2 back, that race at Gulfstream, that was impressive. Pretty good buyer, 84. I mean, could possibly shake something up. I don't know. Carlos Perez is 0 for at the meet out of 4 tries. The jockey's 1 for 40. Couldn't get there. 5, 6, 7, 8 for me. The 9, I don't see. I mean, the horse has speed. This race does have its share of speed in here, But
yes, it does. Yep.
It has a share of speed. What are you looking at, John? What are you thinking? I mean,
I'm the same way. I'm like the 5, 6, and 5 and 6 were my 2 two key horses. Then I could sprinkle in the 8 as possibly, being speed of the speed. The 2 horse, I would give it a little bit of a shot because it looks like it could sit that nice trip from in there. He's not need the lead. He can sit second, third, maybe work out a trip from in there and then split top of the stretch and get the first good run with a good trip. So I would definitely include the 2 at 8 to 1. Not my top. It was just a fringe add-on. I would go 2, 5, 6, 8, but I'm leaving out the 7, which that's it's a tall task to leave the 7 out. You're going 4 deep and not playing the 7 with Irad Ortiz and Dutrow coming off the 13-month layoff, which I don't love that.
I don't
Um,
either. I didn't like that at all. I was
yeah,
hesitant.
and
Five,
showing up
five.
in this spot, but getting a horse ready for 5 furlongs on the grass is a lot easier first time back than getting it ready for a mile and a 16th on the dirt. So yeah, definitely one with Dutrow. Probably you could use, but I'm going to try to fade him as one of the morning line favorites, and I'm going to throw the 2 in as my little bit of a price.
I don't
So
mind that at all.
I would take the 5 probably. It was a claim back there also. I wrote a note, right? The 5 was a claim back
Yeah.
for
Yep.
Drexler.
Yep.
And I think this race will have enough pace, and he'll be able to close into it. I was actually teetering on a ticket where I was going to single the 5 and go deeper elsewhere, but then when I didn't find any value elsewhere in any of the races, I'm like, this is too risky of a single. If the sequence was so wide open all over the board, this would be a good spot to take a stab at a single and create value somewhere else. But I don't see that structure, coming thing. So in a race that's a little tricky, I'll go, 4 deep.
I mean, the scratches changed the whole spectrum of our pick five.
Yep.
There was some key scratches. The one in the first race was scratched. I was a key horse, but I mean, it could unfold and pay 15,000 if things go bad, but it could also
And
pay
we wouldn't
fifty
have that. I
dollars.
mean, we're not going to have the ticket that pays 15,000.
I don't think so. I mean, you'd have to like go all in a couple of the races, the chalky races, like the 8th, 11th, and the 10th and 11th. You'd have the 10th race. You'd have to hit somebody besides one of those favorites. I don't see it, but yeah. So this race was, this was the race that I wasn't the most confident on, but I don't think outside, that's why I went 4 deep. Yeah, the 2, if the 2 gets me, I wouldn't be surprised, but I had to cut it down somewhere. So I guess that was the last horse I left out. But like you mentioned, I don't blame you for switching the 2 with the 7 with the 2 on that race.
Yep, same boat. It's the same ticket except for we switched 2 different horses here, and would not be surprised. Both horses were on both our tickets, but for budget purposes, we had to axe somewhere. I axe 7, Wadey axe the 2, but the same thought though. If you could afford both, put both in. I mean, it's not going to kill you there because going 4 or 5 deep from 108, what's that go up to? It doesn't go up to $130 or something. So
No,
nothing crazy there. Uh,
$27.
Yeah, so it's not. It's a $135 ticket. So if you add
Yeah.
both of them in there, so that might be the play just to cover it to be peace of mind.
Once again, guys, you structure your ticket however you want to. We're just trying to give you advice here and there. If you want to be that guy that wants to spend $300-400, do it. If you want to try and get there with $36, do it. We're just, sometimes I like to spend big money on my pick fives because I like big tickets. I like to hit for a big ticket, but that doesn't always add up. 2 or 3 of those in a row, and, you gotta claw back to get there. But you
How
got to
many times
spend to
we
get.
we partner on a $500 ticket and it comes back, we hit it for $100. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the nature of the game. I mean, that's
Yeah, it happens. You know, you have to spend those sometimes to get lucky. You don't, but you have better chance. All right, on to the 10th. This is where we both landed on the same single. I mean, this is a race where the scratch. I mean, that was a bad morning line. 3 to 1. You're never going to see 3 to 1 on the 6 here, but that horse is scratched. Not sure why, but it like leaves the race pretty tight. There's some speed. Um, let's see the pure class and lure him in. They're gonna go. Hopefully, pure class doesn't. I'm on the 4. That's who my single is. They had this horse with Sam Walensky. They took the owners. I was hearing took him from Sam Walensky and they gave him Sap Joseph. Didn't work out. You can see those 4 races. They were bad. As soon as he went back to Walensky, Horse only missed the board once, and that was in the Pacific Classic against the likes of Fierceness, Journalism, all horses that ran in the Derby. He finished fifth by 26th. I mean, wasn't the worst race, but other than that, ever since he's been back, yeah, the horse is 9. I get it, but he's still doing all right. He's running well. The last race was solid. I think that's a single. You got to cut down somewhere. The only thing that I looked at the two. That horse was on the Derby Trail back in the day, last year, I believe. In 20 or 2 years ago, he was on the Derby Trail, with Fierceness, and that year. Then just disappeared for a little while, went downhill. But I was at that race. He ran an impressive race at Tampa. I saw that race. It was pretty impressive. But I don't know. It might be cut out too much for him. I don't see much else here. I mean, the 5. He's going to have to come off the pace. He's going to need the pace to basically set up perfectly for him to get there. If there's not much pace, I don't know if he could close. I guess the 4. Where's the 3? The 2. The 1. The 1's going to go. The 1 in the 4. What do you think, John? You're on the same single.
Yeah, the one should be the speed right now from the rail. He's got to go. Castellanos got to hustle out of there from the rail, and the sprinting going long. When he did go long, he didn't get the lead going long, which is surprising.
Yeah, never been the distance.
He might be forced now too, but I don't see him stacking up with these horses. I really thought it was going to be the 6, out there winging. The 4 get a perfect trip right off his flank behind him, and the 6 never been this distance. More of a sprinting type. I was shocked when he was entered in this spot, and when he was going to be 3 to 5, my eyes lit up, and I'm like, here's my single of the day against the 3 to 5 shot, which is how you create value in the game. We're looking for these situations. And I did try that, like, bonehead move of all bonehead moves in the summer when Baeza, I guess, in the Jim Dandy, almost not, when we ran with Sovereignty. Sovereignty's, 1 to 5, and I'm singling Baeza all over the board. I'm live to, $16,000 a ticket if Baeza can beat Sovereignty. What an idiot. I mean, that was the chance, because Baeza, ran his eyeballs out, ran great, and Sovereignty wasn't cranked up, and still Sovereignty laughed at him. So I thought that was an opportunity to beat a 1 to 5 and go all in on a horse that really would have created 3, 4, 5 times value in the pick 5 sequences. And that's what this would have did if the 6 would have stayed in the race. So now it just creates such a downer for the sequence. So the 4, I just think, is the best animal. Back with Walensky. I love that angle.
Probably going to be the most singled horse in this sequence. So if this horse does find a way to lose and you can get around him somehow, and it not be the 5, it's going to pay.
I don't see nobody around him, though. I don't see.
I don't either.
I don't trust Hayes. The 1 is just not this level going long. The 5 is going to have to come from behind, and I don't think if the 4 gets in front of the 5 turning for home, the 5's not going to run him down from that far back. I don't know. I don't see anybody else in the race. It just leaves the 4 by default. I loved them before, but now I don't like them as much with the 3 to 5 shot out. Weird to say, but that's just how I see it. So we're all in on the 4, and hopefully get through to a will pay going into the last race. Nice. Oh no, not it is last race. Yeah.
Yes, last race, the 11th.
Yeah, one of the best
There's
races
a scratch.
on the board.
Key scratches, a 4 scratch, not the 4, but the 4 was
4 was long,
4
and
scratched, and the 11, the morning line favorite, was scratched.
Yeah, which I was fading that one, and that one more was, I guess, hoping for synthetic. That's a synthetic monster. 7 out of 8 on the synthetic. So I guess that was entered hoping this would go to the synthetic track. So once it stayed on the turf, they scratched that one out. So on the turf, I was fading that horse anyway before the scratch. So that left me with top pick being the 7 Ashima, just classy, facing Olders all along.
And you're not going to get anywhere near that 3 to 1 morning line. I don't.
Oh no, that's going to be even money now at best with Castellano.
Yeah.
Consistently 80 buyer speed figures up and down the sheet. Ran Starship Impulse when Starship Impulse was on a streak like no other. when beat him by a head. So this horse is going to be really tough to beat. And I tried to, sprinkle in, another one that possibly could. And the 9 horse, he's never faced state breds. He's never faced Florida breds on the sheet. He's been facing open company the whole entire sheet. The workouts, since back with Walensky, look at that workout tab. And he just missed against Silver Moonlight, who came back to win out of that race, who just won 3 in a row. So that 9's going to be tough. The only other one I really had on my radar, which the 6 Spirited Boss, Irad Ortiz, was a really good race at, what was he? 2 to 5, 3 to 5 last time. Ran like, he should have, but he was blocked in the stretch, had to check and wait. And when he angled out, he found some room. And then he had to turn a foot, spurted clear, won easier than the margin indicates just because of the trip. If he would have got right through, he probably would have won by like 4 lengths. But very useful first-time back effort, facing Olders for the first time. So now a newly turned 4-year-old. This is where he'll be. Can he step up here at 6 to 1? He definitely could. So he'd be the other ad on my ticket, but I'm going to go with the 7-9 to close it out.
I was 6, 7, 9 on this race myself. I added the 6. 7's going to be tough in this race, like you said. The 9. So I heard, I was listening to something this morning. I heard about the 9. I guess they tried to claim this horse way back when for 50,000, and it was voided claim. And what I heard was, yeah, here it is on the 16th of August. The horse was claimed. The claim was voided. The owner called Walensky, who tried to claim the horse, said, "Hey, you want to buy this horse?" He's like, "Well, there was a void. I don't know if the horse is healthy." Blah blah blah. Heard the whole interview, and so he said, "All right, just take the horse with you, and we'll figure it out." And I guess they partnered up on the horse, and he really likes the horse. From what I heard, he thinks the horse is going to run a big race. The last race was pretty impressive. It was at Tampa as well, and that horse, Silver Moonlight, that horse come back to won a couple more races since then. Is impressive horse. Just barely got beat by that horse. So I mean, I'm 6, 7, 9. The 9, the 7, like I said, I don't think you're going to get 6 to 1. The 6, I mean 3 to 1. The 6 is the. No wait, did I have the 8? I'm sorry.
Hold
what
on.
did I have on the ticket?
Let me make sure we got that right, because I want to mention last week that we had a typo on the screen, which is killing me, and I didn't sleep for a week because of it. When we put out our ticket, I was in the contest at Monmouth, and Freddie
No,
was
it's
on
6,
the other
7,
end.
9.
I was
Okay,
controlling
making sure.
everything. I typed up the ticket. It was $54. When I put the ticket out there and I talked about it and said, I'm including the 7 horse after listening to Fred talk on the Happy Hour podcast, definitely is worth the include. So that was supposed to be 6 by 6 horses late in the card. I posted 6 by 5 horses, did not include the 7. The ticket I posted was only $45, even though I thought it was $54, because I thought I had the 7 in there. When I went back to look, the 7 wasn't listed. It was just a typo, and you go back to listen, I included it. That $54 pick 5 ticket paid $1,064. So small tickets, you could hit it, because I started out with single, 6 by 6 by 3 to end it. So very economical ticket if you could go narrow somewhere. So, Wadey, what your ticket, was that correct, or you were?
Yes, it's correct. 6, 7, 9. That's what I had.
That was
That's
what
I
he
thought
sent
I
me.
had.
So I want to
Yeah,
make sure we got it right.
it's correct.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was doing too many things on the fly at the contest, and the contest was starting. I'm putting a contest bet in. I'm watching my pick 5, putting the ticket, doing the podcast. It was just too much. And I'm sorry if you guys played the ticket that was scrolling across the bottom without listening, because that one left out number 7 cost $1,000.
Oh
So.
boy. I see Fred opened up in that race. It looks like he's about 5 or 6 deep in that race.
Yeah, let's look at Fred's real quick here and see what he did. Let's see, the first race 237. So he is pretty close
He's
to
using
our
yeah.
horses there, and he is pretty deep in the next. He's going 5 out of 9. So we all decided to add a couple more in there. And then the 9th race, what is he? 5, 6, 8.
Yeah.
Basically the same there, and we talked about the 2 and the 7 as possible ads there. And his big single Nequios was the 6, and that's scratched. So he switched to the 4, the only other logical. Makes sense. Single, and he is a lot deeper than us in the last race.
He's
So if
6
he
deep in the
gets to the
last
last
race.
race,
Yeah,
like we
he's
all
gonna have
could
to.
get to the last race, he will have the coverage that we would all love to have, especially with some, the one horse, he's got a 30-1 bomb in there. 3, he's got a 15-1 bomb. So, yeah, he's got some coverage if he could get there. So, there you go. That's a wrap of a Gulfstream Championship meet pick 5. Nothing like it, I can tell you. Nothing
Yeah,
like comparing Gulfstream to Saratoga in the summer.
you could get a little
So
crazy. I was telling John you could do the Walensky pick 5 double single. It'd be all 4-9, costs $180. Just throwing it out there.
if the trainer could get the double at the end of the day to close out the card,
Yeah,
all Walensky, there you go,
yeah,
108, and you can
180, 180.
180. All right, then you can cheer for some crazy bombs that we don't have.
Yeah,
If a horse that we don't have comes in, it turns the ticket upside down, and it will make it $1,000 pick 5, no matter what happens the rest of the way. So
yeah. Full disclosure, I don't think either of our tickets is paying much if we hit it.
if we get lucky and it could pay 400, it would be probably pretty good payoff. We'd take a $400 payoff on a $108 bet.
Yeah, that's not good, but yeah, we
It's
would
not
take
good.
it.
No, we like to play, but your method with 3 alls and 2 singles, and you got value in the last race with that single,
Yeah,
you could
that's
turn it upside down with a $40 horse in one of those legs that we don't have. That makes it a $3,000 minimum pick 5.
that ticket could have a comma in it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
So who knows? Me and Wadey off screen might be partner up on that ticket or something like that. But
something like that.
that wraps it up for today. And next week, I will be traveling next Friday. The traveling handicapper will be on the road driving with my buddy Dave to Tampa Bay Downs. We're heading down to Tampa on Friday. So we should be there on Saturday afternoon. I will do the happy hour podcast from the car or from South Carolina when we take a rest stop. So that'll be Friday's happy hour, 12:30. And then Saturday, there's a chance we'll be doing it live from Tampa Bay Downs. If not, I'll be doing it from the car as we approach Tampa Downs. But then we'll be hooking up with Wadey down in Tampa. We'll be at the races live on hopefully Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe, right? That's Tampa's schedule.
Yes. Well, they run Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. So next Friday, I'll be doing it from the car. The week after Friday, we'll make sure we do our special happy hour podcast. We'll have Wadey on with us live from the owner's box, possibly at Tampa Downs. When we get to
Sounds
show
good.
you, beautiful Tampa Bay Downs in the background as we're, soaking up the sun. And I could get out of this rainy northeast weather that we're dealing with all day today. So looking forward to that trip down to Florida next week. Hopefully I could get off of this cough and get this past me this week. Wadey, I want to thank you for joining us and filling in for Fred as he continues his education. And, anytime in the future we have a spot open or you want to jump on for a happy hour with us, love to have you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a bunch of fun, and welcome back anytime. I'd like to come back whenever you want to have me.
All right. We'll look forward to partner up on tickets in the future, and we will see you in Tampa in about 8-9 days.
See you next week in sunny Tampa.
All right, pal. All right.
Bye, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.